All right, Mark here. You know how I do cookbooks, bring information. If you guys been seeing any of my videos, I've been putting up a lot of workouts, a lot of, disciplines in terms of like workouts and goals and stuff like that. But I want to talk about like, what are we, right? Like, what are human beings, right? Based off my research, my study and all of that's good stuff. Well, we're spirit beings, right? Like that goes without saying. We're spirit beings that animates a corporal form. Corporal means physical body. Corporal, right? We're spirit beings that animate an animal form. I say animal because of the five kingdoms. That's the kingdom we belong to, the animal kingdom. So, having said that, when you think about the animal kingdom and you look at National Geographics and you study the animals and stuff, you realize that a lion rolls in a group that's called a pride. No matter how strong a lion is, he is in a group, and that group is called his pride. A wolf, very fierce. Wolves are fierce creatures, extremely vicious and fierce. Their group is called a pack. And birds, a bird's group is called a flock. And when you study, you look at the animals and you study the animals and how their mannerisms and their manner of life and how they live and survive, you understand that all the pride, the pack, and the flock is for its own survivability and its own protection. So as fierce as a wolf is, according to the laws of the jungle, they need to be in a pack. As strong and courageous as a lion is, he rolls with a pride. And again, birds flock. So the lesson in that is that because of the dangers of the prey predator dynamics in the jungle, the prey, the predator, the survival of the fittest, the kill or be killed, eat or be eaten dynamics of the jungle, this is what is necessary for the evolution of these animals. We being human beings, again, spirit beings in corporal or human form, animal form, animalistic form, we too have our pride, we have our pack, we have our flock. And it's the same laws of the jungle. For survival, the animals in the jungle that don't have a pride, don't have a pack, don't have a flock, are the most vulnerable in their environment, or the most vulnerable in their media, which is the same thing as their environment. Those are the most vulnerable, and those are the most susceptible to prey predator, to kill or be killed, to die out. And that holds true amongst us manimals, right? Man that are animals. Put an M before animals, you got manimals. So it's important that we understand these laws, because it is instinctive within every human being, within the reptilian brain. It's the primitive brain. It's called the reptilian brain. It's an instinct. It's an impulse to conquer another human being, right? When you read about the Visigoths, the Goths, which were barbarians who came up against Rome in the 6th century, the 5th century, the 4th, all throughout the centuries, you would see volleys of attacks on Rome by the Visigoths and the Goths, which were barbarians that came down, Germanic barbaric group of people. So it's an instinct. It's part of our animal brain. Like I said, it's a primordial brain. It's a primitive brain. It's the pristine brain, not in the sense that it's uncorruptible, but in a very early stage of development. That was necessary for us as we came out of dark ages, as we came out of ancient and prehistoric times. That part of the brain was necessary. Today, that part of the brain has been mitigated by or reduced or taken a back seat to the more developed or advanced part of our brain in terms of evolution, which is the neocortex, which is this more civilized brain, right? Civilized parts of our brain. But be that as that may be, that part of the brain still exists. and it's called the reptilian brain, and it's called that for a reason, because that part of the brain, in terms of its geometry, its shape, in terms of its visual, it actually looks just like a reptilian's brain. So that's why it's given the name the reptilian brain. But that part of our brain still exists, although not as prominent and predominant as in historic times. It still exists. So, and there are a lot of people who still function from that part of the brain more so than the rational cortex or neocortex. Right? They still function more out of the limbic system, the primal brain, you know, survival instincts, kill or be killed, that part of the brain. So it's important for us to understand that there is instinctive, and I like to use the term subconscious behaviors that are still likened to that of our prehistoric brethren, which is the conquer, you know, and it's not as aggressive. It's not as aggressive today. You don't see it, doesn't come out as aggressive and pronounced and obvious, but it's palpable, and it's very subtle. It is subtle and sublime. It's subliminal, but it's passive, but it's there, and it's always in action. Always in action, and it's called passive aggression. We see it every day, but it's up to us to be aware of it. You don't have to teach everybody else about it. You don't have to tell everybody everything you know. You don't have to teach everybody, but it's for you to be aware of it so that you can take proper steps to protect yourself from it. Because not everyone is supposed to be in your circle. Not everyone is supposed to be in your bubble, whatever you want to call it, your sphere, your space. Not everyone is supposed to be in there. Not every. A matter of fact, 90% of the people are not supposed to be in your sphere. It's that serious. The world is a very, very beautiful, dangerous place. Till next time, Mark. Peace.